Hey, and welcome to another episode of Rankum. And we've got a fun episode for you. Just as Matthew comes back in, he disappeared for a minute, but he'll be back. But yeah, and because all the shows of Arrowverse are back on the air, I decided, well, put a whole bunch of Arrowverse poll options up, and the winner is characters in the Arrowverse. And I've got a good panel here. We've got some brand new people making their debuts on Rankum and a couple of old hats. I'll go to fellow member of Take 3, Matthew Kearns. Matthew, how's it going, and what's your favorite Arrowverse show?
It's going good. Excited to be on here to talk about this. Favorite Arrowverse show is Flash. Watch it every week. Big fan of it. It's the show that kind of brought me into the Arrowverse. So yeah.
Also making the return to Rankum is Nico Suave Rigoli. Nico, how's it going?
It's going well. I've been on a lot of stuff today, and apparently my work is not done because just like Zadius and I do every single Thursday, we're going to talk about the Arrowverse.
And what's your favorite of the shows?
Well, in terms of seriousness, I would have to say Supergirl. In terms of which show makes me the happiest, definitely Legends of Tomorrow.
And making their debut on Rankum is someone they've been trying to get on something for a long time, and have finally managed to do it. Is Caleb Coe. Caleb, how's it going, and what's your favorite show?
It's going good. I ordered a pizza about an hour and 25 minutes ago, and it finally came about 25 minutes ago. So I'm gonna eat that on air. But other than that, I'm doing good. And my favorite show is The Flash, which will be seen by my nominations tonight. Also, since there is no Cody Newberry, I am the designated Newberry for tonight. I hate your lists. You all suck.
I'm not sure how Cody will feel about you taking up his spot, but and last but not least, I couldn't do an Arrowverse show without the Arrowverse champion of the world, Zadius Smith.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Good. And what's your favorite Arrowverse show?
Arrowverse show is still to this day will be Arrow. I love them all, but Arrow's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, the Flash is one of my favorite shows in the Arrowverse, but I do like them all. I really find it hard to pick between them at times. And so how the show works is we do a round table, like go around nominating things, and then the rest of we'll vote. And if a character gets 3 votes, and then he gets in. But if he gets if he gets 2 yes votes and 3 no votes, then he's denied. But everyone does have a save, so if that character gets 2 yeses but 3 no's, then they can save the character and they will make it onto the list. So, for example, say Zadius nominates random street guy from Supergirl to try and make onto the list. And everyone else says, well, there's one person says yes, but 3 others say no, then he can save it and make random street guy makes it on the list. But yeah, I'm going to throw it over to Matthew Kearns to bring up the first nomination.
Okay. Let me see from my list here. So the first person I'm going to bring up is, the show is, the title of this video is Arrowverse Characters. So how can the first nomination not be the star of Arrow, Oliver Queen? I think Oliver Queen is a great character. As the seasons have gone on, he's only gotten better with the crossovers. I think the way he handles himself, like he doesn't have any superpowers, but he's able to, like, it never feels like Oliver's just tagging along. I really enjoy that. And Stephen Amell is just a fantastic, like, face of the universe, to say. He's been holding the flag since the start. So yeah, Oliver Queen is my first nomination.
Nico, Oliver Queen is on the table. What do you say about Oliver Queen?
Obviously, this universe would not exist without him. And, you know, he the way Arrow was initially created, it was basically the CW substitute of Batman, because there was an embargo going on, so they couldn't use the Batman officially. So they tried to make Oliver Queen into that. And, they made it work. They made it work because the first 2 seasons were great, and the show has really picked back up from season 5 onward. And in terms of who they got to portray Oliver Queen, Stephen Amell, he has basically embodied this character. And he relishes every opportunity he gets to embody this character. Like the Vigilante Club shirts as part of the Elite from professional wrestling with the Young Bucks and their t-shirt line at Hot Topic. And you have Stephen Amell even voiced a DLC version of Green Arrow for one of the previous Lego Batman video games. So so obviously a lot of passion here for this character. A lot of effort put in to make this character great. So yes, Oliver Queen definitely should be on this list.
And Caleb, Oliver Queen is on the table. Do you say yes to him?
Well, first of all, yes. He's my number 2 pick. So he's on the list. But yeah, how can you not put Green Arrow on the list? I mean, he's had the most character arc from since the Arrowverse began to the point where we are now, that I think Stephen Amell definitely deserves to be on here. Yeah.
And with that, Oliver Queen makes the list quite easily. Zedius, what would you have said?
Oh, it was a definite yes. He's high on my list. And then, like everybody's been saying, yes, he's kind of the CW's version of Batman. But as somebody that was a fan of Justin Hartley's Green Arrow, and to see how they resurrected the Green Arrow character for their own for his own show, I think it was leaps and bounds. Justin Hartley was good, but Stephen Jesus Christ, Stephen Amell is better as a Green Arrow than me. So definitely yes.
Maybe in the Elseworlds crossover, we'll get Stephen Hartley as Green Arrow. Who knows?
That would be dope.
But yeah, it would have been a yes for me. Oliver Queen is definitely one of my favorite characters. He's definitely been well acted and all that. And even this season alone, like him just being in prison most of the season without doing the Green Arrow. Being Green Arrow is definitely a interesting new dynamic for his character as well. So, yeah. Nico, you've got the next nomination.
So I'm going to go with a character that's very complex in that not only has this character gone through many different emotional directions, but it's also gone through many universal, or rather multiversal directions. I'm talking, of course, about Leonard / Leo Snart, depending on which Earth you want to focus on. Now, we first see the character of Leonard Snart, Captain Cold. He's this rugged guy. He's a professional thief. And you think, oh, he's just the bad guy. But you find out the more you get to know him and the more he's on screen, he has a code. And he follows that code with honor. He's not like your average, ordinary bad guy. And it's to the point that he actually develops friendship, if you will, with his number one enemy, the Flash. And eventually that hardened soul becomes more and more open and lovable and respectable, as we see him on Legends of Tomorrow, all the way to his final sacrifice towards the end of season 1, where he saves his best friend Mick Rory from doing the sacrifice. He's like, "No, you big lunk, get out of here!" Thunks him on the head, and then takes the bullet for himself, stealing a kiss from White Canary in the process, and he's gone. And then we get this alternate version of him on Earth X, this Earth that's been run over by Nazis. And it's almost the complete opposite of what we saw when Leonard Snart was first introduced. And I love the contrast. I love how we have I love how we have this guy who follows rules for one reason, and then we have this other guy who follows rules for a different reason. Negative, positive, but still the same bread and butter that makes the character of Captain Cold, Citizen Cold, Leonard Leo Snart what it is. Beautiful character.
Captain Cold is on the table. Zedius, what do you say about Captain Cold?
I'm gonna throw a yes vote to Captain Cold because he's literally he's towards the bottom of my list, but he's on the list. And like Nico said, he started out as like, no pun intended, Stone Cold villain, but then the mutual respect between him and the Flash. I mean, yes, he was still a bad guy, but I can't remember the exact episode it was, but when Barry and him were actually talking in the woods, and they came to understanding that, listen, this is what you, as long as you don't kill anybody, stay out of my city, we'll be good. You don't tell anybody my secret, I'll let you do this. And then for his eventually, he becomes a legend by making the sacrifice that he did and basically saving time from the Time Masters. Spoiler alert. But yeah, he definitely deserves to be here.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely deserves to be on this list. It would have been it's a yes for me. And the one thing that sealed it for me is his big change that he had in Legends Tomorrow when he made the big sacrifice at the end of season 1. Saving the day is just one of those ones like you never saw that coming, and it's just one of those ones that you never expected either. So Leonard Snart does make the list. Caleb, what would you have said?
I would have probably said yeah too. I mean, he's on my top 15 list. He's not on the top 12, but when I look at my top 12, I have a couple of characters that I think I can bump for Captain Cold. So,
and Matt, what would you have said about Captain Cold?
I probably would have said no, just because I want to be a little cold-hearted.
Boo, bad jokes.
No, I wouldn't. No. Yeah, no, he's on my list as well. Great character, great arc.
Caleb, you're next with your nomination.
oh yeah, I just took a bite of pizza and I didn't realize I was up. Sorry. 1 second.
Enjoy that pizza. What kind of
chomp
pizza
down
is
that
it?
bit fast. Okay, it's a cheese pizza, sir. I am very plain. All right. I was in the mood for some boring ass white bread tonight. All right. I'm gonna take my first nomination, and I'm gonna go a different way than I was going to initially. I'm not gonna nominate my number 1 just yet. Instead, I'm gonna nominate my number 6, because the more I think about it, this character is one that I always cared about, but never in the forefront of my mind when I watched the shows went, oh my gosh, this character is so great. Like, they're flashy, they're big. No, it was a more understated, subtle performance, a more subtle character. But when he died in the Crisis on Earth X event, I cried like a baby, because Professor Stein is one of the best characters in the Arrowverse, hands down. From being introduced on the Flash in season 1 and being this kind of grandpa character, that's just like your sophisticated grandpa, to going on to Legends of Tomorrow and being a primary role in the Arrowverse and he tackled it just so well. And when Professor Stein dies, I cried so hard because you never like immediately think when you think Arrowverse characters, your brain immediately goes to people like the Flash or Green Arrow or Supergirl. But when it comes down to it, and you look at what makes the Arrowverse so great, it's characters like Professor Stein. So that's why I'm putting Professor Stein on the table.
Professor Stein is on the table. Matt, what would you have said?
Oh God, I was like hoping you wouldn't start with me. Oh, this is hard. He's a. This goes to an issue. I've never really gotten into Legends, so I really kind of only know him from Flash and the crossover, which he was great on. I don't know, man. This is tough because I think the thing about Professor Stein is that like he kind of comes in with Firestorm. I don't know. I'll give him a yes because he is a very important character. To the beginning half of the Arrowverse. So yeah.
Nico, Professor Stein is on the table. What do you say?
Whew, boy. I'm not going to deny that this character is greatly important to the Arrowverse. And I'm just wondering, how many spots usually get filled on the show?
12.
Okay. So I'm just trying to be cautious here because like there's still plenty of characters we haven't mentioned.
Yeah, that's my thought process too.
Yeah, and I'm very curious to see now what Caleb's number one was, but yet there's no denying Martin Stein is a big part of the Arrowverse. Like he was there in like the first or second episode of Flash. He got caught in the particle accelerator explosion, and then he became part of the Firestorm Matrix. With Ronnie Raymond being the other half. And then we get to see him go on this very lengthy journey of kind of being a minor player on The Flash. And then he meets Jefferson Jackson. And then he finds new purpose again as Firestorm. And as a legend, him being a man of science, he wants to explore the timeline and everything about it. The more he was put on center stage, the more he got to show his chops. Like we even got to see him sing a couple times because we know the actor is a Broadway singer and a damn good one at that. One of my favorite parts of his tenure on these shows was during the Supergirl Flash musical where he got to sing with Jesse L. Martin and John Barrowman, who plays Malcolm Merlyn, and Detective Joe West. That great song, and of course, his end, especially when he was about to have a granddaughter. Like, let's focus on what happened during that season. He gets a daughter as a result of a time anomaly, and then that daughter has a child of her own. And he can't make it to see the birth of his grandchild because, sadly, well, actually, I think did he see the birth of his grandchild? I can't remember for certain, but still, he missed out on getting to be the father and grandfather that he wanted to be. And he was basically, at that point, kind of like the heart of this universe, and that's why they gave him such a swan song ovation for his send-off. And, yeah, Martin Stein definitely deserves to be on this list.
And with that, Martin Stein makes the list. Zedius, what would you have said?
Well, I'm glad I'm not the asshole in this card. Yeah. Yes, it was a very sad ending for Martin Stein, but yeah, he was now on my list. I kind of feel bad that I didn't have him anywhere on my list, but I only have like 18. And somebody's gonna be pissed when they hear one of them, but yeah, he didn't make my list, but I have no problem that he's on the list though.
Yeah, I mean, I had him as a combo deal with Jax of mine, but
that's what I had on my list. Yeah.
But in saying that, with them being separated, it makes no difference because they are two separate characters, really. So it's one of those situations in which, I mean, I probably would have said no because he wasn't that high. But my favorite moment of his is when on Legends they talked about going to the Titanic. He was just something, I'm not setting foot on that ship again.
You're right. Yes. I called that too. Like
subtle jabs at his other acting roles, just like so entertaining. Anyway, Zedius, you're up for nomination.
okay, so we got 3 spots filled so far, and for the 4th spot, I'm looking through my list. I have, I think, one obvious one, but I'm gonna skip that one for now because we've had 3 guys that have ended up, that 3 good guys, and then one of them being like turning from the dark side to the light side. But I'm just starting with a straight out villain, and it's really based off the importance of this character because without him, there would literally be no Flash. So my first character I'm nominating is Eobard Thawne. Like either if you want the real actor who's the real Eobard Thawne, but in my case, I'm thinking more about Eobard Harrison Wells from season 1. So which was still Eobard, but the way he coats, he basically created Barry, made Barry the best Flash that he could be. And yes, while he had his own reasons for doing it, he wanted Barry to become as fast as he could. And the scene in season 2, after they actually defeated Thawne, aka the Reverse Flash, when he left that tape, he left the tape recording, like admitting to Nord's murder a couple years back, and something just hits me in the heart whenever he says, like, Barry, I'll give you all that you want, but you know what? You're still not gonna be happy because I'll get your father out of jail, but you're still not gonna be happy. And the way that season 2 ended, technically he was right. So like I still say, and then Eobard Thawne is my nomination. Plus, he also made Legends a better show. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Reverse Flash is on the table. I'm going to lead off with this one. It's definitely a yes for me. Like Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne is definitely one of those villains which is synonymous with the Flash, and it's definitely one that I don't. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen the last one because I think they've confirmed he's going to be in the Flash's 100 episode. So I mean, he's going to pop up again, whatever form. But he's one of those characters which is like just watching the first season of Flash is like, who is it real? It was like, but when it was revealed that it was what everyone thought was Harrison Wells, it was, and then to show that it was completely someone else within that form is just one of those villains which plays the long game, and unlike some of the other ones, which has really started getting into the Flash's head really early on in the season. But yeah, it gets Reverse Flash gets used for me. Matt, what do you say about Reverse Flash?
This is tough. Because I just have to figure out in my head, is he nominating like Reverse Flash or is he nominating like Harrison Wells from season? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I think it's Eobard Thawne's Reverse Flash as opposed to when he's in Harrison
Wells. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, if it was that, then I would say no, just because that's not the best Harrison Wells. I'll say yes, just so we can have some variety on this list, because there are great villains. I feel like this is mostly going to be filled with villains. And even though he isn't my personal favorite from the Flash show, he still was a great villain. I like the fact that he's not totally gone, that there still is a chance to bring him back. So that's a yes.
And with that, Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne makes the list. Nico, what would you have said?
So I wasn't sure if we were merging the two versions of Eobard Thawne together, the version played by Tom Cavanaugh and the version played by the other guy, because if it was the combination of the two, I would have given it a no, because while I like what the blonde guy did with the character, especially in Legends, I don't like when Eobard Thawne has Harrison Wells' face. So I was like, meh, eh. This is one of those times where the variety of portrayals of the character doesn't work for me. So I was going to give Reverse Flash a no.
And Caleb, what would you have said?
I would have given Reverse Flash a no because I have Harrison Wells on my list, as in Harrison Wells, the guy that keeps coming back every season as a different sort of, whether it's H.G. Wells or, you know, that Harrison Wells from Earth 2. I love the character of Harrison Wells. I would have put Harrison Wells on the list, but not, and I love the Harrison Wells Reverse Flash, but I would not put Reverse Flash on the list because that also means I'm taking the, as Nico said, the blonde guy, and I don't really care for the blonde guy all that much. So I would have said no because I would rather shed the Reverse Flash and keep the Harrison Wells part of that win. But
yeah, I mean, I'd argue Harrison Wells is a separate character because
same here.
I would argue they're all separate characters.
There are a million versions of Harrison Wells to choose from, by the way. So be specific with which one you're going with if you want to put that on the list.
Yeah.
If I was picking a Harrison Wells, I'm picking Earth 2 Harry Wells. So,
well, Caleb, you can still nominate him. There's a lot more time.
Yeah, you can.
I know.
Oh my god.
Anyway, it's down to me to nominate. I'm gonna not go for my obvious number one. I'm going to go for another villain from another show, and I'm going to go for one with a New Zealand connection, and that is Deathstroke.
Okay.
Slade Wilson. Deathstroke has been one of my favorite villains in Batman for all up, and what Manu Bennett did with him in Arrow is incredible. And I know he hasn't made it into the other shows that I know of, but he doesn't need to, because what he's done with the character, whether he's been super villainous like he was in the earlier seasons, or when he was kind of anti-hero-ish as he was in the late sixth season of Arrow, but he was always, to me, has always been an interesting character. He's definitely been one that's gotten to Oliver's head on so many occasions, and I'd argue that he's probably one of maybe the best villain in Arrow. I don't know. It's between him and Malcolm Merlin for me. They're both sort of, depending on which it's one of my head is at the time, but Deathstroke is on the table. Zadius, what do you say to Deathstroke?
Yo, it's a hard yes for me, man. I love Deathstroke's Manu Bennett's version of Deathstroke, and I without Slade Wilson, Oliver would never survive the island, like 100%. And then I think technically, if not for the introduction of Manu Bennett and Deathstroke in season 2, who knows if Arrow will still be around? I think he had an excellent portrayal in all of season 2. I kind of disliked how he was portraying season 6, because when somebody kills your mom, you don't just forgive them like that. But listen, that's neither here nor there. Deathstroke is a definite yes.
And Caleb, what do you say about Deathstroke?
Deathstroke is the only reason why Arrow is on the air right now. Because season 2 was the best Arrow season ever, and that is mainly because of Manu Bennett's Deathstroke, who is a top 5 Arrowverse villain of all time. Definitely deserves to be on this list. The most intense portrayal of a villain, I think, on any of the Arrowverse shows. One of the most visceral performances. Absolutely, Deathstroke needs to be on here.
And with that, Deathstroke makes the list. Nico, what would you have said?
For obvious reasons, I would have said yes.
And Matt, I know you've never seen Arrow.
You know where my vote would have went. I would have went. I would just out
So,
of
yeah.
unfamiliarity.
But in saying that, it's back to Matt for his next nomination.
Okay, so Malcolm is probably going to be shocked that I didn't lead off with this character after I say it. So the character I'm going with is one of the greatest mentors we've ever had in the Arrowverse. He's also technically a legend in his own right. I'm going with Jay Garrick, but of course the John Wesley Shipp, the true version, not that Zoom in disguise of Jay Garrick. Just John Wesley Shipp is fantastic in The Flash. He's done such a good job he's really sort of been a stand-in for Barry's dad ever since Zoom killed off his father. He's had a lot of great moments. He's had a lot of great heroic moments. He almost sacrificed himself to defeat Savitar. And it's also it's the first time in the Arrowverse where we've ever had them kind of like stretch their hand back into the history of DC and sort of acknowledge it with having John Wesley Shipp play the Flash again, just a different Flash. So he is also my favorite character in the Arrowverse. So Jay Garrick and John Wesley Shipp is on the table.
Mad respect for him being your favorite, though.
Jay Garrick is on the table. Nico, what do you say?
I don't deny that Jay Garrick is a great character. Here is my concern. We already have 5 of the 12 spots on this list filled. 4 of them are white males and 1 of them is a Kiwi. What is the point of the Arrowverse and of CW's programming as a whole? It's to show inclusion. It's to show the diversity of the world we live in and the worlds in which we could live in, because magic and science can get crazy at times. So for the sake of inclusion, I'm going to have to exclude Jay Garrick.
Caleb, Jay Garrick is on the table. What do you say?
As a comic book fan, one of the greatest moments and one of the greatest experiences I've ever had watching a TV show was the moment that Jay Garrick, in comic accurate costume with the helmet, walked onto the screen. And it was amazing. I love Jay Garrick. Here comes the big but. Like Nico said, there are 5 spots taken. And looking at my list, there are other characters from The Flash that I like more that I would rather see on the list. There are some side characters from other shows I'd like to see on the list. There are a couple of leads from a lot of these shows we haven't even put on there yet. So I'm going to have to, as much as it hurts the comic book fan inside me, say no to the greatest moment I've had watching a TV show. So.
And Zedius, what do you say about Jay Garrick?
I've been wrestling with this, man. If anybody's watched our Crisis on Earth Planets last week, I love that same moment that Caleb was talking about when Jay Garrick was in his full costume with the helmet. That's one of my favorite costumes in like all the Arrowverse right there, and it was a great moment. But I just don't think Jay has done enough in this world yet. And I love John Wesley Shipp too, because he's one of the best dads of all time on Dawson's Creek. Yes, it was a good show, but yeah, it's gonna be a no for Jay for me.
Yeah, I mean, I give you mad respect for bringing up Jay Garrick, Matt. I like Jay Garrick, and just like Caleb and Zadius said, seeing him in comic accurate outfit is amazing. And just like in the crossover, seeing him back in the Flash outfit is going to be just as amazing. I'm going to have to say no. Sorry. But yes, with that, Jay Garrick is the first character.
Or no, I can't in good conscience.
Oh no way!
I can't with with everyone else on the panel saying no, I can't, despite him being my favorite. I can't.
Well, I was about to say
that
you wouldn't
guy.
be able to because it's the no votes kind of outweigh the yes
See,
anyway.
you never explained that to me, Malcolm. Been on how many shows? You've never explained it that way.
Well,
Yeah,
I think the last few times you've been on a show, it's been three. I don't think you've ever been on a 5-person panel. So yeah,
no, I haven't.
Yeah,
Wait, so you
it was
can't
2 versus
save-
3,
wait.
right?
Wait, you can't save it unless it's a 3-2 split?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
See, that's my thing. I kind of thought
Can't-
save was just a general thing. Like, it doesn't matter.
I did too, but now, as if I were a Telltale game, Caleb will remember that. Moving on.
I'll remember that too. At least I got to
Same
talk
here.
about it.
Anyway,
I have my saves
You,
saved up.
Malcolm.
anyway, let's see if Nico can get some inclusion on, like he was talking about.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what he picks.
Oh my
Yes.
god, if he picks a white guy, I'm gonna laugh my ass
I'm
off.
gonna laugh so
Well,
hard.
everything I said.
His next pick is Martin Stein from like Earth X.
Oh God, you guys suck sometimes. No. I'm gonna go with. I will say my next pick is going to be a female. I'm just trying to think which one do I want to go with.
How about we say this? Pick the right one, because if you're leaning to a certain character, I'm a veto that. That's all I'm gonna say.
I want to know
I
who
don't
this
think
character
that's
is.
the correct term, but
All right, I'm gonna go with Kara Zor-El, Supergirl.
Right pick.
okay. Can I just say yes right off the bat? Yeah, there's no real debate. Just
I think it's gonna be it.
I
Continue,
mean,
continue talking, Nico.
Now, say what you will about how CBS handled season 1, but there's still plenty of likable things about that season 1. And since it moved to the CW, the show of Supergirl has gotten that much better. And Melissa Benoit's portrayal of Kara Zor-El, Carol Danvers, depending on what identity she's occupying at the time, has been great. And behind the scenes, she has really empowered a lot of young women who representation matters. Representation matters. That is a fact. And in terms of on screen, she has gotten to do a great many things with the character of Supergirl. She has gotten to show that girls can be strong, girls can be powerful, girls can be ass kickers, while still showing femininity at times, as we got to see when she, again, I'm bringing up the musical episode, she has a beautiful voice and she got to show it greatly in that musical episode, as well as during the second crossover where she got to sing at Barry's wedding. And, you know, she has saved the world so many times. And, you know, you got to honor that. Like, there's an argument to be made that she is the better of the two members of the House of El who wear the crest and save Earth. I feel like she surpassed Superman with how well she's done in the Arrowverse shows. So I'm gonna go with Kara Zor-El, Supergirl.
My God.
Supergirl's on the table. Matt, you already said yes. Do you have anything to add to your yes?
yeah, I mean, she's a fantastic character, Melissa Benoist. I'm sorry, I always fuck up her last name. She's fantastic. She was kind of the only reason why I sat through most of season 1, and then Malcolm. It's heavily documented in our conversations. The start of season 2 left me very angry for reasons, but thankfully she was so good I kept watching it. Yeah, if anyone. You know what? I'm not even going to say it, just on the offhand chance someone likes that thing that Malcolm knows I'm talking about. But if they bring it up, I'll be sure to veto it.
I need to know this after this segment.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can say it now. I'm not a fan of Arrowverse's depiction of Superman at this point in time as a huge Superman fan.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
another thing to make my case. She beat Superman in a fight while he was mind controlled.
Yeah, that's a conversation we can have after this show.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Tyler Hoechlin, you always be Superman, but Tom Welling, you're always Superman, man.
Oh my God, I found a brother.
Oh yes,
Tom
sir.
Welling. Why didn't they bring Tom Welling back?
I know,
yeah.
right? That was so weird.
Malcolm, rail the show back in order.
Oh, we can get to Smallville talk, but yeah.
Caleb, Supergirl's on the table. What do you say?
I've loved Melissa Benoist since Glee. She was one of the only reasons why I kept watching Glee after season 3. Because season 3 really should have been where the show ended. And then season 4 was good. Season 5 was heartbreaking. Season 6 is eh. But we're not talking about Glee. But Malcolm, bring me back for Glee. However, Supergirl season 1 sucks. And then Supergirl season 2 is great. And Supergirl season 3 sucks again. But I will put
Supergirl season 4 is great.
Is it? I haven't seen it yet. But
Yes.
I will say I'm voting yes to Supergirl because she is the only character that I don't like their show, but I watch because I like that character. So I think that speaks volumes about the character of Supergirl in CW.
And if that Supergirl makes the list, Zadius, what would you have said?
If this would have been after Supergirl season 1, and we're gonna keep shitting on that show for season 1, it would have been a hard no. But thankfully for seasons 2 and 3 and 4, yeah, Melissa is first of all doing a great job as Supergirl, and I love also just I'm starting to like that show a lot better. But she as a character, she's embraced Supergirl, and then I feel like playing the character Supergirl, it emboldens her to be more of a role model to like in her personal life outside the world, and I completely did that. And I think that's what actors should do when they have something like a powerful role that they can help empower other strong little girls or other women, and they do it, or other men or other boys. Yeah, that's 100% a great thing. And Kara Zor-El, you definitely make the list.
Time out really quick. Malcolm, I just want to ask you something. I know how you're writing the characters in the chat and everything, and it pops up. Did you just say Melissa Benoist is the real name of the character of Supergirl? Because with the last of the characters that you've done, it's been like Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne.
You know what I meant.
I was just wondering. I saw that. I was like, oh, interesting. Thought that was going to be funnier. Fail joke. Sorry.
But yes, I did do that on accident. But anyway, yeah, I mean, Supergirl would have been a yes for me as well. And I do think she looks like my cousin, but that's a conversation for another time.
Okay.
Well, there was more of a joke. There was more of a joke. I failed, but anyway.
Sorry. Zaddy's response is, that's it. The show's over. Zaddy's just won. Anything he wants, he gets.
But anyway, Caleb, it's up to for your next nomination.
Oh. Man, I gotta meet your cousin. All right. Sorry.
We broke Caleb. We broke Caleb.
That killed me. That freaking killed me. Okay. Looking at my picks, then I'm gonna pick my Interesting. I'm gonna throw it back to the villains real quick because I'm gonna pick my favorite villain thus far. Personally, am I saying they're the best villain? No. Am I saying personally? This is for me personally the villain that I was most interested in, the villain that actually kind of scared me the most, and is the main villain of the episode that made me the most emotional when watching The Flash. And that is Savitar. I know most people have a lot of issues with this season. A lot of people have a lot of issues with this character as being another speedster. But when you compare him to the other speedsters, Savitar is the Flash. Like, it got so far to the point where the Flash is fighting himself the entire season in more ways than one, both physically because of Savitar and emotionally by trying to stop said Savitar. He's fighting himself and a lot of his friends around him, and it made for a very emotional season. Especially the penultimate episode of season 3 that still makes me cry when I think about it. I don't actually remember the name of the episode. It's the name of like the alley, but I can't remember the name of it at this moment, or the street, but I can't remember it at this exact second.
Yeah. Goodness, down the street.
I know. I would be losing my fandom TV match right now if I got this question. I would, but that episode was a perfect slice of self-contained emotional killing, and that is mainly because of Grant Gustin's portrayal of Savitar throughout the season. And Savitar is definitely my favorite villain we've had so far, due to the effects that he's had on everyone. Season 3 was the season where I had the most, I guess, emotional stress watching it because of how much I connected to those characters and what that villain did to me and the characters I like. So I'm putting Savitar on the table, and I'll see what you guys think.
Savitar is on the table. I'll lead off by saying no. I mean, out of the Flash villains, Savitar's not my favorite. I mean, I do think that Barry Allen played the villain great. But to me, I don't think it's great, and we've already got one speedster villain on the list. I don't think we need two. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to throw it over to Matt next. Matt, Savitar's on the table. What do you say?
As of right now, there are 4 Flash villains we have seen the complete arcs of. And out of those 4 villains, Savitar ranks number 4. Malcolm knows this. It's heavily documented in both Skype calls and Facebook messages. I am not a fan of Savitar. Season 3 is the weakest season of The Flash for me. More power to you for him being your favorite, but it didn't work for me. I wasn't as invested into the character, even with the reveal, as I felt like I should have been. So yeah, sadly, I have to say no to Savitar. I guess not sadly. I don't know.
Not sadly.
Nico, Savitar's on the table. What do you say?
There are arguably villain of the week villains that are better than Savitar, in my opinion. So yeah, it's a hard no. Like yeah.
And Zedius, what do you say about Savitar?
Listen, I'm not gonna shit on Savitar like that, but it's a no for me, only mainly because of the fact there's 2 other great villains I can think that should definitely be on the list. Not necessarily from Flash, but there was a key word that you said in your sentence that made you fear him when you said when you were speaking about how that made you afraid of this character. And if we're bringing fear into the mix, I have a character that just scared the hell out of me when he was around. So I'm gonna say no for Savitar for now.
And
For now,
with
this is it, man.
And with that, Savitar doesn't make the list.
Man, Zadis, if you could just give me that one yes vote, I was going to use my save on Savitar.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah,
Come on.
I like Savitar a lot.
Look, to be real, I completely forgot Savitar was even a character.
To be real, I think season 2 is the weakest season. I was way more invested in season 3 than season 2. Just saying.
Season 2 is my favorite, so we disagree on that.
Season 1 is season 1 is still the best, and they haven't gotten better than season 1.
Anyway,
moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Zedius, who are you going to bring up next?
Well, you know what? I might as well shoot my shot with this. Well, this is really not too much of a character out of left field, because yes, you said we have a couple speedsters on here, but I'm just going to throw him out already, because if we're talking about fearful characters, my God, when you can take the protagonist of your show, beat him up, and drag his ass around town, you drag him to the newspaper, you drag him to the CCPD, and just show him off saying, yeah, I beat up your guy. That's me. I did that to him. You're a badass to me. And yes, mainly because of Tony Todd's voice, but Zoom is one of the ultimate badasses to me, and I think he definitely deserves to be on this list.
Zoom is on the table. Matt, what do you say about Zoom?
Yeah, there are multiple things, but there are two characters that have made season 2 my favorite season, The Flash. Zoom is definitely one of them. He is my favorite villain out of the Flash villains we've gotten so far. He's like actually menacing, and you really do feel watching that season that Barry's not going to be able to beat him. And then the reveal of how he's gotten so powerful is really like, you look at it and you're like, man, that is really shitty to do. So yeah, Zoom gets a hard yes for me.
Nico, Zoom is on the table. What do you say?
He definitely is one of the more menacing characters. There's a name that I wish you guys would bring up that you haven't brought up yet in terms of villains. And like, we already have a speedster on this list in terms of villains. So I'm gonna be the guy who gets a lot of shade. I love you, Zad. I'm sorry. But I'm gonna give Zoom a no here.
Let's replace Reverse Flash with Zoom.
I'll do that.
Let's do it.
Caleb, Zoom is on the table. What do you say?
I mean, if we, just like Matt said, if we could replace Reverse Flash with Zoom, I'd do it. But the thing is, we can't. Well, I mean, just literally not even a round ago, we put up Savitar, and y'all voted him down. And Savitar scares me more than Zoom. Savitar scares me more than Zoom. So, no. Bye-bye. I'm going to be petty that way.
So Malcolm's the deciding vote here.
Thank you. Next, please.
Yeah, okay, I mean, for me, I like Zoom. I'm just worried about the fact they've already got half the list, which is already characters that originated in the Flash. I'm gonna say no.
Breaking my heart, Malcolm. Breaking my heart.
Zedius, are you gonna save him? I can see you got your hand up waiting.
If there was a button right here, I would press it. Save for Zoom.
Thaddeus, put that up there. I just found a new Arrowverse buddy right there. We both hate
Yes, sir.
Supergirl, Superman, and we love Smallville.
Sorry, Malcolm. Matt just replaced Eli on the Arrowverse Champions.
Hey, we could be a New Day version. We could be a New Day version of the Arrowverse Champions. I'm cool with that.
I'm an Earth version. Yeah, there's a reference I get.
Anyway, it's down to me.
5 spots.
I'm gonna bring up another villain. And this one I can't remember if she originated in Flash or Arrow first, but I'm gonna bring up Lowell Lance as Black Siren. Because I do not like Lowell Lance as Black Knee. I never really liked that character at all as a good guy, but when she came as her Earth 2 counterpart as Black Siren, she is killing it as a villain. I don't know if this season she's a villain or a good guy. She's kind of in between somewhere. It's hard to tell at the moment, but I think Black Siren deserves to be on this list. Like, she's shown that in just one season that she can be great as a villain, and Katie Cassidy is doing really good work with this character. Zedius, what do you say about Black Siren?
Somebody's been watching Crisis on Earth Plus, because if you heard me last week, I was not the biggest fan of Goody Two Shoes Laurel. As like from season 1 and season 2, but Black Siren is the girl, and just for her first inclusion from like when Zoom brought her back the all-powerful Zoom, the all-fearful Zoom, brought her back in season 2 of The Flash. I thought that was amazing. Then her character arc last season on Arrow was amazing, and the way that she starts out as a hard-nosed villain, like full, like 100% villain. And I won't spoil this season yet, but the way that you see her character is evolving, and how she began to evolve in last year's finale towards last season's finale. I love Black Siren and Laurel Lance. I'm glad you specified Black Siren, because if it was just Laurel Lance from the first season, no. But this Laurel, hard yes. Black Siren, yes.
Caleb, Black Siren is on the table. What do you say?
I've never liked the trope that Arrow set of we're killing someone, we're bringing them back, we're killing them again. This time they're evil. This time they're gray-haired. This time they're red-haired. This time their name is Black Siren instead of Black Canary because somehow that makes them more evil. I don't like that, and I don't like this character. I just don't. And if I'm being honest, there are better. I know Nico's and a lot of us are more about inclusion on this list. There are better female characters that deserve the spot over Black Siren. So I'm giving that the no.
Nico, what do you say about Black Siren?
So I'm remembering when Black Siren was first introduced, and I believe she had a mask on, and then Barry knocked the mask off, and Caitlin Snow is in Barry's ear, and she's asking, "Who is it?" And Barry's like, "It's Laurel Lance," and I believe it was Harry Wells or H.R. Wells, can't remember for certain, but he was like, "Did you know her?" And Caitlin Snow was like, "Know her. We loved her." And so to see this antithesis of the Laurel they knew, this evil Laurel, who we later find out is evil because she's afraid because there's someone who is apparently more evil than she is. So you get the motivation there. And it adds to the layers that, within Black Siren as a character. And also, in terms of the actress playing Black Siren, Katie Cassidy, you can tell she's having a lot more fun playing a villain, or rather an anti-hero at this stage of the game, than she was getting to play the Laurel Lance from Earth 1. Because, it's commonly heard from a lot of professional wrestlers, they like to play the heel a little bit more because it gives them more freedom to do their thing. And I feel like the argument is the same here. So I will happily put Black Siren on this list.
And Black Siren makes the list. Matt, what would you have said?
I probably would have said no, just based on we're getting down to where there's less spots, and there's just other female characters that I like more.
Anyway, it's back to you, Matt. Who is your next nomination?
This is hard because I'm between two to nominate. Or getting all right, I'm just gonna do it. I'm nominating Caitlin Snow.
That's the correct answer.
She has only, like, even in the first season, she was a really good character. But the thing I like is that she's just gotten better as the shows have gone on, and she's gotten more involved, and she has her own storylines. Like right now, she has her own like B plot going on, and it's really interesting, which I like. And she's just a great character. So yeah, Caitlin Snow.
It's a hell yes from me. I really love Caitlin, and I even love her when she's in her Killer Frost as well. I mean, she's one that has worked playing both the good guy and the villain, depending on what she's needed for that. And it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens when she finally gets Killer Frost to come back out of her hiding place. Nico, what do you say to Caitlin Snow?
So one of the complaints in the later seasons of Flash is that they can't find something to do with Candace Patton's portrayal of Iris West. They never seem to have that issue with Danielle Panabaker's Caitlin Snow. And they've given her so much more to do as the seasons have gone on, especially with the addition of the Killer Frost persona, now making it sort of a Jekyll and Hyde dynamic between the two. And at first it was like something she wanted to get rid of, and then it was like, no, my buddy that we did pen pal stuff together with. So like the layers that are being added on to this character, which is technically two characters in one. Yes, absolutely.
And with that, Caitlin Snow makes a list. Caleb, what would you have said?
I have been a fan of Danielle Panabaker since the Disney Channel days of Read It and Weep and Sky High.
What are you talking about? Stuck in the Suburbs, boy. Don't forget that classic.
And Stuck in the Suburbs. You right. There's no way I could forget Caitlin Snow. That was who, like when Nico was talking about Black Siren this, Black Siren that, he said Caitlin Snow like 7 times when talking about Black Siren. And when he was like, I'm voting Black Siren, and I'm like, you said the correct person you should have been nominating's name like 8 times in your sentences of there. Caitlin Snow should be on here more than Black Siren. So, yes.
But they're both on.
Well, that's unfortunate. No.
Zedius, Caitlin Snow's on the list. What would you have said?
It was definitely a yes for me. And just hearing everybody's testimony about Caitlin, it just submitted that yeah. Because at first I was like, there's somebody else I want, but you know what? I have no problem with Caitlin being on this list. Danielle Panabaker has done an amazing job since she's been on the show for all 4 seasons of the Flash, all 5 seasons, excuse me now. And I think the way her first season version of Caitlin kind of annoyed me, and it's kind of the same reason why Supergirl and Kara annoyed me in Supergirl season 1. But Danielle, ever since screw it, spoiler alert. Ever since Runny died, she's been a better character in my opinion. So I love her that much more, and yeah, she's definitely a yes.
You heard from Zadius. Kill off the boyfriend, and they become better friends.
He's right. He's right, though.
It's true. It's true.
Well, let's not hope they go with that, because otherwise, if killing off the Flash makes Iris West a better character,
they tried that?
That wouldn't even work.
They tried that already.
Did you see the opening last season?
Yeah, that didn't work season 4, bud.
Anyway, Nico, it's back to you. Who are we going to nominate?
All right, there are 3 spots left on this list of 12. So that means if we feel like there's someone on this list that you might not have thought about, it's time to throw their name out. So I'm going to go with a very unique choice. I'm going to go with Jennifer Pierce from Black Lightning.
Wait,
the younger of
Nico.
No, Black Lightning's not Arrowverse.
I'm not counting Black Lightning in.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I
said it in the chat.
Yeah, there's no Black Lightning here, buddy.
I was busy hosting a show.
This was when I first made the chat, Nico.
Anyway, okay. So that throws me off.
There are only 3 correct answers left, by the way.
Here's the thing: you can nominate it. It would just be easy for all of us to say no.
Yeah.
No, let's not waste the nomination on something that can't be here yet.
Yeah.
I like Black Lightning. Like, it's a great show, but since it's not technically in the Arrowverse, at least in the Take 3 universe, we will have to. That's cool with not being allowed to be nominated so far.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that now in mind, I'm going to go with John Jones, the Martian Manhunter. Now, the way they introduced him in season 1 of Supergirl was very interesting because we all thought it was going to be Cyborg Superman, Hank Henshaw, the glowing red eyes, made you think some things. And then they flip it on its head in the 6th episode, and you realize, oh, okay. And he's sort of been like a parental guardian figure to the Danvers sisters for the large portion of that Supergirl has been on the air. And, as the seasons have gone on, he became hard because of the fact that his wife and children had died on Mars at the hands of the White Martians. And then, the more empowered Kara and Alex have become in their roles, the more he's been willing to step back and become a more peaceful individual, especially finding out that his father was alive. And, then we see the arc with his father battling dementia, or rather the alien equivalent of it. And, he absorbs the majority of his father's memories at the end of season 3. And he's now trying to find himself as like, do I want to pursue peace, or should I still be the guy fighting on the front lines? But John Jones has always been a central figure in terms of the Supergirl show, and I feel like he definitely deserves to be on this list.
Martian Manhunter's on the list, and I'll also add like how and seeing his father on screen, because his father voiced the original Martian Manhunter in the animated series. It's uncanny to how much they look alike, and
oh yeah, very much so, very much.
Yeah, but yeah, Zadius Martian Manhunter is on the table. What do you say?
Yeah, there's only 2 characters right now that's not on the list that's above Martian Manhunter on my list, and John Jones Martian Manhunter is definitely a yes for me. As you said, he's been a father figure for the Danvers sisters, not just in their lives, and then even on the show since season 1. And it was one of the that reveal was one of the best parts about Supergirl, and I love his portrayal of I'm trying to think of his name real quick, but you know what? Just forget about it for now. But Martian Manhunter is definitely a yes.
Caleb, what do you say about Martian Manhunter?
Look, Martian Manhunter is so wasted in Supergirl. Martian Manhunter is such a great comic book character. He's one of the best parts of the animated show. And he is so utterly misused in Supergirl and underutilized. And I hate it. I hate how they use Martian Manhunter in Supergirl, because there's so many awesome things you could do with that character, and relegating him to kind of background father figure for a lot of it it makes sense, but I just don't want that necessarily for Martian Manhunter. Plus, with there only being 3 spots and Flash and Cisco have not been brought up, I cannot in good conscience put Martian Manhunter on.
And Matt, you've only really met him briefly in the crossovers. What would you have said? What do you say, Martian Manhunter?
Oh, this is hard. Feel really bad because I should probably watch more of the shows. I love Martian Manhunter as a character, of course. He's one of my favorite DC characters, but I just don't know enough about him to know if he's top 12 material. Sadly, you could just blame me on my own naivete with the Supergirl show, but I love Martian Manhunter. From what I saw of him in the crossover, he was great.
It's down to me. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a no for me, but because just because Caleb brings up a good point, it's like there's a lot of characters that we still haven't brought up that should be in here over Mr. Manhunter. So yeah, it's going to be a no for me. And Caleb, it's your turn to nominate.
All right, guys, we all know the Flash has got to be on this list. We all know Cisco's got to be on this list. But there is one technical Arrowverse character. He has appeared in the shows that I love to death, that I'm pretty sure he's actually going to be a regular on Legends soon, and that would be Mr. John Constantine, because I love this guy. Love John Constantine. Great performance. I am wholly expecting him to get turned down, but you gotta, like Zaddy says, shoot your shot when you got only one free spot left. So, John Constantine, love the guy. Have fun.
I mean, I love John Constantine. Like, I'd argue he kind of is a regular on Legends now in this season. But it's a no. I mean, I like his portrayal as a character. I've just never liked him. And that's just it. Zedius, what do you say about John Constantine?
Like John Constantine, this kind of goes back to like he's doing a great job on season 5 right now, and oh wait, no, God, I'm off on my season 4 of Legends. I think he's doing great, but not yet, not top 12 material, not yet. There's some other characters that should be on the list above Constantine. Good job, Matt Ryan. Happy to see you in the Arrowverse, but yeah.
He's literally number 12 on my rankings, so I was like, shot.
Nico, what do you say about John Constantine?
I agree with Zadius. Like, he's doing great work. It's just not his time yet. And with only 3 spots remaining on the list, that there are definitely people that deserve to be on there more than he does.
Yeah. And I know Matt hasn't watched the Legends, so he won't really know.
Don't tell Pat Campbell. Also, I never really liked Constantine in the comics. That's just me. Don't share this video with Pat Campbell, or else he'll kill me. He'll jump on a plane to New York and kill me if he hears me say that.
Anyway, Zedius, who are you going to bring up next?
I'm thinking.
It's all about like who wants to use their turn to get the obvious ones on.
That's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm thinking right now. Don't want to, because we got 3 spots left. Barry has to be on this list. Do I want to nominate him now or
watch this be a Billy Joel jukebox playlist situation and Piano Man not make the list because we all took it as an obvious choice.
Because of that, gotta say Barry Allen. Because first of all, if he didn't make this list, it would be a crime. Period. Like this list will almost be invalid. But let's just start with Barry's evolution since season 1 has been amazing. Yes, you can say what you want about season 3 and season 4. Kind of stagnated, and even though he screwed up majorly at the end of season 2 in my book, but it was just part of the growth of Barry Allen. And to have a guy that's portraying a character that has seen his mother get killed and seen his father get killed right before his eyes. Well, he didn't technically see his mom get killed in front of us, but that's neither here nor there. But that should turn anybody cold, like cold-hearted, which what they tried to do with Savitar, but it didn't work. But Barry Allen, the Flash, great character. He's helped keep this Arrowverse alive and should definitely be on this list. I'm throwing it out there.
I feel personally attacked by that Savitar statement.
you chose Savitar over Zoom. Sorry.
Savitar's a better villain than Zoom, but you know what? Whatever. We'll discuss it on Earthplex someday.
There we go.
Savitar almost got rid of Iron.
Caleb chose Savitar over the Flash, and
that's because the Flash is an obvious pick.
I'm saying yes to the Flash. He definitely deserves to be on this list. And if one of the main characters in their respective shows doesn't make the list, there's something really strange in the water there. But Matt, what do you say about the Flash?
Well, even though I did already nominate the best speedster from from the Flash series. I can't in good consciousness have a haircut that is very similar to Grant Gustin while wearing his shirt and not say yes to Barry Allen. I mean, Barry Allen is fantastic. Grant Gustin, since like season 1 was a very like not weak, it was a very like beginning show, but Grant Gustin has always been strong, and he's just great. Like he's never really faltered for me, which I really liked. So yeah, Barry should be on this list.
And with that, the Flash makes list. Nico, what would you have said?
Can we please remove either Eobard Thawne or Zoom from the list? Just because I feel like someone's going to get left out here that shouldn't get left out.
Welcome to Rankum.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
we will see.
Because now there are like only 2 spots left, and there are 2 people I really want to see on this list, and I don't know if they're going to make it on there.
Malcolm,
and it saddens me.
Malcolm, that's the new one.
Well, you put Black Siren on the list, bro.
Malcolm,
Because I feel like she deserves to be here.
That's a new tagline for Rankum. It's just someone's going to get left off this list.
Hey, it makes sense.
Someone's gonna get left out.
It's true.
I mean, we can also face it. There are really lots of great characters in the Arrowverse. So,
I mean, yeah,
Yeah, there really are.
It's a really good show.
and Caleb, I mean, you would have said obviously yes, wouldn't you?
He's my favorite Arrowverse character, so yes.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't know. I'm kidding. I'm just messing with you, Caleb.
I
I nominated Saboteur before him.
I mean, I could say Piano Man is my favorite Billy Joel song and just take it for granted with the whole Joel fans, you know?
I haven't watched
yeah,
that episode, but I'm definitely not going to now.
What made it funny is half the people that said no to Billy Joel was doing it as a joke. So
Yeah, everyone voted down Piano Man as a joke, and it didn't make the list.
Oh my God.
That is literally the best jukebox playlist episode ever. You have to watch it.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay, I will say just really quick. Chris Clark literally had to rename the
Back
episode.
to Arrowverse.
He had to rename the
You all
episode Top 10 Billy Joel songs minus Piano Man. Anyway.
it's back to me, and looking at the list, it's come to my attention. There's not a lot of legends on this list, and Matt just gave a hint to who I'm going to nominate when he was talking about the Flash, and it is I'm of course nominating Haircut. That is also known as the Atom.
Oh God.
Who Heatwave just likes to call Haircut, but yeah, the Atom is one of those ones which utilizes a character that could have been Superman in the movies for ages, but he's been killing it in the Arrowverse ever since he was introduced in Arrow. He's just one of my he's probably my favorite legend. There's once again, that's depending on sort of when you ask me, because they do change a lot, but he with his pop culture references, he brings up like Cisco sometimes, and his camaraderie with Nate and the others are just so, he just works so well with the team. But yeah, Zadius, the Atom is on the table. What do you say?
Brandon Routh as the Atom has been a great, just a great character on these shows. First starting off on Arrow, and then appearing on Legends. I really like what they done with his character. If this was a top 20 list, I would say definite yes. But since this is top 12 with only 2 more spots left, I'm gonna have to pass on Ray Palmer as the Atom.
Caleb, what do you say about the Atom?
He is an annoying less charismatic Superman. And personally, I don't like him. I just don't. I've never really cared for the Atom. He was better as a B character on Arrow for that one season 3 run that he had before he went to Legends. And one of the reasons why I don't really watch Legends all that much anymore is because he's a lead. He just annoys me, man. I can't. Brandon Routh would have been a good Superman with the right direction, because otherwise he'd be this guy. And that's why I'm just voting him down. I don't like the Atom. I don't.
Nico, the Atom is on the table. What do you say?
Oh, this hurts me so much because part of me really wants him on the list, but at the same time, there are only 2 spots left. Oh.
Polite reminder, Cisco is still not on the list. Just saying.
I'm sorry, Malcolm. I'm sorry, Ray Palmer. I can't do it. No, I can't.
And Matt, based on what you know of the Atom, what do you say?
Based on what I know, is that one, he had one of the greatest moments in the first crossover, which is Car says goodbye to him. He goes, "She reminds me of my cousin." I'm gonna say yes. One of the reasons why I really want to get into Legends is because I think Brandon Routh is fantastic as this character. The Fakes Malcolm has told me that some episodes, I think Brandon Routh is fantastic as this character. He's awesome. And I'm glad that he was able to come back from Superman Returns into the DC universe. And yeah. So
and with that, Matt's left it open for me to save him.
Are you gonna save him? Are you gonna do it really?
Caleb, come on, man.
Now, I can save him and piss off Caleb, or I can. That's a good idea. I'm going to save him.
God, I can feel the vengeance flowing through. Piss him off. Yes.
Well, no,
All right,
Caleb's
just
in trouble.
to let him know, just to let you know, by doing that, that probably means Iris doesn't make the list. That probably means John Diggle doesn't make the list, and that probably means that we might not get Cisco on the list, depending on.
I don't think Iris is going to make the list anyway. But
anyway,
No,
it's back to Matt. To
I'm
bring
just
up the
I'm
nomination.
throwing out names that won't make the list now. So.
okay.
Just saying.
Welcome to Rankum. Is what I'll open my statement with. So looking at my list of people that I had on that haven't been talked about yet, I'm gonna go with Harrison Wells, but specifically I'm going with Earth 2 Harry. I think this is the best version of Harrison Wells. He's the only one that, well, HR kind of got an arc. He's the only one who really had an arc. I don't know. I loved this before. It's like he was kind of like an asshole, but he had a heart, and you could tell he was kind of just an asshole just because he was so much smarter than everyone else on Earth 2. How could he not be? So going with Harry Wells.
Harry Wells is on the table. Nico, what do you say?
Yeah, there is one spot left, and I'm sorry, Matt, but I feel like we need one more female character on this list, so I'm going to give it a no.
Caleb, what do you say?
See, I say you shouldn't have saved the Atom, because I would have voted yes to this if the Atom had literally just not been saved. But now I can't, because Cisco Ramon needs to be on this list. Otherwise, it's not an Arrowverse list. So, no.
Zedius, what do you say to Harry Wells?
To echo Kellen. He's not being nominated on this list. But to echo what Caleb just said, if Ray Palmer had not been on this list, I would say yes. But the thing is, he's on my list. He's on my list but I have one character
Bro,
that
he
Caleb
is
mentioned
number
also that
3.
they have higher,
He
and
is my
I
num-
have somebody higher.
He's
And
literally
there's
my
two
number
characters
3.
also that one on this list, but no, it's a no for me too.
Cisco's he's
And I
literally my number
love
3.
Harry Wells, but
Harry's my number 3. Cisco is my number 2. That's why.
Yeah. I do agree that Harry is the best version of Harrison Wells, but
yeah,
I still would have said no to him. He wouldn't have. He was just outside of my own personal top 12. So yeah. So if that Harry Wells does not make the list, and it's up to Nico. Nico, can you fill up that last spot?
Who do I go with? Okay. I'm gonna go with White Canary, Sarah Lance. Now, regardless of whether or not Rip Hunter had the title of captain, I think we all knew in our hearts that Sarah Lance was the true captain of the Wave Rider. She took command of that ship and its crew, and she has led the Legends through some great adventures that we have all had the pleasure of watching over the past couple of years on Legends of Tomorrow. And we've got to see her visibly grow from the time when she was just that scared teenager on Lian Yu with Oliver Queen, who, by the way, we all thought she died, and then apparently she survived on the island. And then we also thought Deathstroke shot her, and then that turned out to be different too. So she's a survivor for one thing, and every time she comes back a more badass version of herself. We see her start out as the Black Canary, and she had the first version of the Canary Cry that we got to see in the Arrowverse. It was basically an amplified megaphone, but it was still pretty damn cool. And she set a tone for future Black Canaries to come. And again, being on Legends, we get to see her and her growth to the point where at one point she didn't want to open up at all. Now she's willing to be not only just to open up to others, but she's willing to let other people open up to her and be sort of like that camp counselor figure that the Legends need whenever they're going through something. And it's been better for her relationship life too, because now she's finally able to settle down with someone as opposed to constantly running from people she cares about. So yeah, Sarah Lance.
Sarah Lance is on the table. Caleb, what do you say?
I say that Black Siren and the Atom are on this list. That means there is no room for White Canary. No matter how cool or awesome I think White Canary is, because there is an obvious choice that still needs to make the list. That's all I gotta say about that. Blame yourself and blame Malcolm.
Zetius, what do you say about White Canary?
White Canary. First of all, I know even though she wasn't the original Sarah Lance, I do love how Katie has portrayed Sarah Lance ever since season 2 of Arrow. The moment where she unmasked herself to Oliver was like, oh, and just their chemistry with each other has been great. She died, she came back, and it as an even better character as White Canary. And I think she's a great character. But let me say this, Katie, just in case you ever decide to watch this, if Martin Stein had not been already on this list, or Ray Palmer had not already been on this list, I would completely say yes, I love you. But because those two are on the list, I gotta say no. Sorry.
Can we please eliminate either Zoom or Eobard so we can put someone on the so we can put someone else on this list?
Well,
See, I would vote to remove Eobard as well. I would vote that, but I can't.
Well, I'll point out only one of the two had to be saved to make it on the list, but we don't do eliminating ones from lists yet. I might change up Rankum next year and include that as well, but no, not at this moment. Matt,
Good for
what do
you,
you,
Malcolm.
based on what you know, what will you say
Yeah,
about
she's
Sarah
a
Lance?
great character, but I think for the last spot, there's other characters who are a little bit more deserving of it.
Yeah, and for me, it's actually not based on who's on the list. For me, I'd like Sarah Lance from the first season of Legends. As the season went on, she kind of went all over the place. Like she probably isn't in my top 3 on Legends of Tomorrow characters as it is, so it would have been a no for me regardless.
I'm on tilt right now.
and I mean, and when it comes to Siren characters, I think Dinah Drake, played by the great Juliana Hargitay, who Zedius knows all too well. But yeah. Anyway, Caleb, it's time for you to bring up the obvious choice, as you say.
All right, ladies and gents, it is time to bring up the glue of Team Flash, the man that makes the Atom look like an annoying child when it comes to pop culture references. The man, the myth, the legend, Cisco Vibe Ramon needs to be on this list. Cisco makes every episode fun. He makes every season enjoyable. He is, as soon as he became Vibe, it created an entirely new dynamic. Since season 1, Cisco has been one of the, not since season 1, since episode 1, since day 1, Cisco has been one of the best characters in the Arrowverse and definitely deserves to be on this list.
I'm going to start off with Matt. Matt, does Cisco make the list?
I mean, just to sort of, do you remember the beginning half of season 3 when he was one of the most unbearable parts of the show? That was
He
fun.
was going through a rough time, okay?
I'm
You
just
leave my
saying.
boy alone.
I'm just saying. You're like, oh, he every season fun because Malcolm knows this very well. I fucking hated the beginning half of season 3, but yes, even though I really want to say no, just to piss Caleb off because it'd be really funny. Cisco's great. I liked him better when he became Vibe. Not that he was a bad character before. I just think he's better as a superhero than he was when he was just like
The fanboy.
Yeah, he was kind of just a fanboy. Like, not that he didn't have a lot to do, but it's just like since they introduced him being Vibe, he's just had so much more to do in the show. Especially recently in season 5. I'm really interested to see where they go with Vibe, just given his relationship with the villain. So, yeah. Still hate him in the beginning half of season 3, though.
The first 6 episodes of season 3 aren't great anyway.
And Nico, what do you say about Cisco?
Cisco's cool, but he's got nice hair. I can't do it. No.
Nico's gonna make the episode go on longer because he's on tilt and being petty.
No, it's just like I feel like there may be other characters that yeah, I like. Cisco's cool. I just feel like others are cooler.
And he still wants to remove Eobard Thawne for White Canary.
Zedius, what do you say about Cisco?
Cisco, Carlos has done a great job portraying Cisco. He is the king of pop culture for the Flash and for the whole entire Arrowverse. But it's kind of just like that. Season 3, Jesus Christ. Oh
The
my
first
God.
5
I
episodes.
understood,
Season 3, man.
I understood why he was mad, but
My God, boy.
that was painful. And plus, I'm unlike Matt. I have not really liked Cisco this so far this season 5. I think he needs to grow up in some ways, but yeah, it's a. I'll leave it at that. It's no for me.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean,
All right.
Cisco is a good character. I like him, but it's going to have to be a yes.
Good. I was going to say, because either way, I was literally going to say, either way, you say no, I save him. That's how this works.
Yeah, he was gonna be saved. I knew I was.
He was going to be saved no matter what, bro. He was going to be saved no matter what.
The whole Ben Bateman slow rolling works.
Nice there, Malcolm. You got to perfect it a little bit more, but it's okay. I'll help you with it.
And with that, we have our 12. And our 12 that made the list that we're going to be ranking is Oliver Queen, Leonard Snart, Martin Stein, Reverse Flash, Deathstroke, Supergirl, Zoom, Black Siren, Caitlin Snow, The Flash, The Atom, and Cisco.
I should have used my save for John Jones. God damn it.
But we're all going to write down who we think should be at number 12.
I just can't believe that no one mentioned Danny Trejo. I mean, Jesus Christ, Danny
Oh my
Trejo
gosh.
was on the
Okay.
Flash. Like,
I wanna
holy
say-
shit. He was
I
on
wanna
the
say-
Flash.
Kane McMillan is blowing up my messages in the Multiplex Fandom League chat saying that I petitioned for Bebo to be on this list.
Yes, he was my nomination.
I'm presuming he's the one
Alright.
on the multiplex channel in the chat who put hashtag where is Bebo, but yeah.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Excuse me, Kane. It's hashtag bring Bebo back.
Oh, Tim is yelling at us for not putting Malcolm Merlin on the list.
He's another one that someone got left off.
Just saying, Black Siren, Doom.
I mean,
No, sir.
I mean, I was considering bringing up Malcolm Merlin, but I didn't want to. It seemed like I'm just doing it because we share names. So,
I mean, okay.
but
Malcolm.
talking about people left off, does anyone have any honorable mentions before we actually reveal our nominations for 12?
Kane is telling me to bring up the Trickster. Mark Hamill, the Trickster.
Trickster's fantastic. He hasn't. Yeah,
He's been
he
in
just
3
has
episodes.
Yeah, if he's been in more, I would agree with it. But yeah, he's. I mean, he's in my favorite episode of The Flash.
I do have 1 or 2 honorable mentions. I do want to give a shout out to Iris West Allen because I do. No matter how much no one likes her or how much they don't give her to do, I do like Iris.
I like her too. I just feel like that there seems to be a perception among the rest of the internet that feel like she's not being given enough to do.
And I also want to throw an honorable mention to The Thinker because that was a good portrayal.
And I've Zad, you can go first.
A couple honorable mentions, maybe like 3 or 4 or 5. First of all, I would have said Bebo also, so me and Kane are right there. But 2 people I would have nominated before Bebo was Malcolm Merlin and John Diggle, just for the fact that he stood by stood by Oliver the whole time, and he's been the leader. And trust me when I say this, John Diggle has been the leader of the best live action version of the Suicide Squad that we have seen. Best live action version of the Suicide Squad that we have seen. Let me repeat it again. John Diggle has been the leader of the best live action version of the Suicide Squad that we've seen. So
John Diggle was
John Diggle would have been on my was high on my list. Also, Quentin Lance and Joe West.
Yeah, Joe
absolutely.
West is another one that would have been
Yeah.
on my list
Yeah.
as well.
I
Joe would
also
have made the list had Black Siren not been on. Just saying.
If Ray Palmer had not been on there.
I also had Joe West, and for my other honorable mentions, Alex Danvers, Gorilla
Yes,
Grodd,
Mm.
Damien Dark,
Mm.
Zari, whose last name I'm forgetting at the moment,
I don't know if she has a last name. But
okay. Wild Dog Renee Ramirez. Let's see here. Livewire. That's kind of just a personal choice. But I feel like she had a great arc that justifies her being on the list. And finally, Gideon.
Oh wow. Good point.
Well, so I had a backup to Jay Garrick that I never got to bring up for the Jay. I was gonna just bring up Henry Allen just so I could talk about John Wesley shit more.
I will say, in hindsight, had I known the Adam was going to make the list, I would have voted yes on Jay Garrick. If I
Right.
didn't, yeah, just saying.
Voted yes on the best character.
But yeah, I mean, for me, as much as I know, she was going to be shot down by a few of them. Actually did have Felicity on my list. I do like her as a character. I also had Rip Hunter on mine. I had Kid Flash. I had Heatwave. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones. Like I also
There's
had
so many great characters.
yeah. I also had another one that likes pop culture, and that's Rin from Supergirl.
Ooh, good choice.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But anyway,
Can I really quickly before we start run down Kane's top 12 that he sent me? Because it's really funny.
Yeah.
He says Captain Cold, Malcolm Merlin, Damien Dark, only legends though. Mick Rory, Constantine takes over the scene. Gary, Reverse Flash, Oliver,
Gary.
Bebo, Barry, Bebo, and Bebo.
Anyway, Matt, who do you want for number 12?
I have Black Siren based on the fact I don't really know this character that well.
Nico, who do you have for number 12?
Zoom.
Caleb, who do you have for number 12?
Reverse Flash.
Zedius, who do you have for number 12?
I have Martin Stein.
You heartless old man.
I was worried we were going to have a 5-way tie, but I also had Martin Stein because just for the reason I think he's better as a package deal for Jax. As on his own, he wasn't. I don't think he was that great.
Sigh.
Everyone tweet at the actor who played Prince Stein and say Malcolm doesn't think you're that great on your own.
Everyone tweet at the Broadway legend, star of the film Godspell, Victor Garber, and tell him that he sucks. Because that man is
going now.
I didn't say he sucks.
Yeah, I was going to say, you didn't say he sucks. You say he's better as a package deal.
I mean, Victor Garber is great in Titanic.
Yeah, he is. He is. It's too bad it wasn't a musical. No, I still wouldn't like that movie.
Tim just said Stein at number 12 is robbery.
There actually is a Titanic musical. Which I'm pretty sure Victor Garber was in as well. I'm gonna kick things off. I've got Black Siren at number 11. Zedius, who do you have for 11?
Number 11 would be Ray Palmer, the Atom.
Caleb, who do you have for 11?
Black Siren.
Nico, who do you have for 11?
Eobard Thawne.
And Matt, who do you have for 11?
Oh, good. I can change my answer because I still have Black Siren.
Fuck. I'm going to keep flipping back and forth between Reverse Flash and Zoom until one of them ends up. Here, I'm just going to put either of the two, and whichever one ends up, yeah.
Right. Matt, who do you have for 10?
I have Reverse Flash.
Nico, who do you have for 10?
I had Zoom or Reverse Flash, so I'm going to be the tiebreaker regardless.
No.
Caleb, who do you have for 10?
I have the Atom.
Zadius, who do you have for 10?
Me and Caleb are right there at the Adam.
Attaboy.
So it's a tie. I have got one of them. I've got Reverse Flash.
Yes.
He said Zoom, though.
I said or Reverse Flash.
No.
I mean, I'm cool with it, so
Yeah, I'm all right with it.
I think this is a good place.
Nico, did you kill a Wookiee to make that notebook?
I did not kill one, but I can't say the same for whoever made this notebook. So.
Chewie! The porks got back at him.
Revenge reports.
Anyway, I'm going to kick off this one. I've got the Atom at number 9. Zedius, who do you have?
I know last time I put Ray Palmer / the Atom, so I kind of messed it up this time. I put the Atom / Ray Palmer. So,
Caleb.
Please, dear God, the Atom.
he's gone.
Yeah. Nico, who did you have for 9?
I had Zoom.
Don't do Zoom like that, Nico.
Matt, who do you had at 9?
The last of the characters that I really don't know anything about. Love him on Teen Titans, but I had Deathstroke just based on the fact I've never seen an episode with him because I don't really watch Arrow that much.
Right, just to recap who we've got left, we've got Oliver, Leonard, Deathstroke, Supergirl, Zoom, Caitlin Snow, and the Flash left, and Cisco left.
How is Zoom still on the list?
Because he's awesome, Nico. Awesome.
He's a great character. He's a great character.
Don't question it.
He's Woodbury's ass, man.
He
Hardcore.
did. Several times, not just once.
Matt, who do you have at 8?
I still have Deathstroke. Welcome to me on Rick and Bose, who have never watched the show with me.
Nico, who do you have at 8?
Who do you think?
The Zoom?
It's still Zoom. It's still Zoom.
Caleb, who do you have at 8?
I'm actually with Nico this time. I said Zoom.
Zedius, who do you have at 8?
Goodbye, Zoom. You will still rule my nightmares. I had Caitlin Snow.
You are just despicable, sir.
It's going to end up making Zedius the tiebreaker because I had Deathstroke. As much as he's a Kiwi, between the two of them, said Deathstroke or Zoom at number 8.
This is hard because I love both of these characters. Deathstroke saved Arrow. However, I used my one save the King of My Nightmares. Yeah, it's gonna be this is number 8.
Yeah.
That's by Deathstroke.
What? Wait.
Oh, cool! I can change my answer. Yay!
Wow.
And now I
Number 8 is
know all the
Deathstroke.
characters. This is awesome.
Also, Kane just messaged me and he goes, I am heated that Matt is on here and hasn't gotten to season 2 of Arrow.
Yeah,
I haven't gone through season 1 of Arrow.
You
But
kinda
hey,
dropped the
whoa,
ball.
I'm about to get messages, dude. I'm about to get messages.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know who you are, Kane, so that's just the truth. So,
I'll tell you who he is. He's the guy who Ryan Permerson keeps locking away in basements. Fans of Multiplex will get that joke.
Malcolm, what did you bring me into with this team?
Go cry to Vinny and Kermit.
I've never cried to them.
Yeah, we don't want them to break into the stream. I told Matt to make sure his closet was closed, locked tight, so Vinny couldn't break into Rankum. So
He did.
but anyway, for 7, I've got Zoom. It's Matt, who do you have for 7?
I have Zoom.
Nico,
Zoom.
Confirmed. Zoom.
Caleb, and
Good fight,
Zedius.
buddy. I will keep my names a surprise. So next.
It would have been great if Zoom had the same longevity as Daredevil. If you watch that Rankum episode, you'll know what I'm talking about. Oh my god, that still is one of my favorite moments. Cody still hates that.
Oh, is that the Elektra episode or no?
No,
no,
we did top 12 Marvel characters, and I had to save Daredevil, and then I got to number 3, which Cody is like, what the? That makes no sense.
Oh man.
He's
We're
still
six
talking
now.
about it.
Matt, who is your number 6?
I have Caitlin Snow.
Nico, who do you have at 6?
Cisco Ramon.
Caleb, who do you have at 6?
I have Caitlin Snow.
Zedius, who do you have at 6?
I put the Nico on this one. I put either Cisco or Kaylin. So technically, we're but you know what?
Can I change my vote? Can I change my vote to Cisco Ramon just based on that answer?
Well, I had Cisco anyway, so,
So Cisco Ramon anyway.
It would have been Cisco.
So wait, there was two clean Caitlins and 2 clean Ciscos, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So, which do you want, Cisco or Caitlin?
You know what?
Zadius, don't you dare.
Zadius, please dare.
It's number 6 for me.
No, Zadius pick Cisco. Zadius pick Cisco. Yes. Caitlin's a better character than Cisco, dude.
That's definitely true. Yes, it's Cisco's number 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Man.
The point in rank
number 5 is
we're doing person or person. That actually doesn't work out.
Oh my god, wow, I can't believe I forgot he was in here.
Me too. I think we just put the same person down, Matt.
Right, so for number 5, I've got Leonard Snart.
I forgot he was on this list.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, how's he above Zoom? But you know what? It's neither here nor there.
I mean,
Damn it.
Captain Cole got better character development. So.
Zedius, who do you
That's
have
true.
for 5?
I still with Caitlin for this round.
God, dude.
I forgot. Completely.
Dude.
Go.
Caleb, who do you have for 5?
I have Leonard Snart.
Nico, who do you have for 5?
I have Oliver Queen.
Oh, I almost went
Whoa.
Oliver Queen, dude. I almost went Oliver Queen.
Matt, who do you have for 5?
I've learned Snart. I would have put him when I put Zoom, but then I completely forgot until I was looking at the list. I was like, oh yeah, Snart's on here. And he's a great character. It's just like, I like Zoom.
Yeah, he is.
I think the fact that we all forgot Captain Cole's on this list says that we should automatically bump him to 12.
Hey, I didn't forget. I feel like he deserves to be in the top 5. So
I'm not mad about that though.
I'm not mad about it either.
At least it's like not a character we kind of forgotten. That we're like, shit, that should probably be number 11. That'd be bad.
Yeah, at least we exactly. You're like, how did you get so high?
It's not like we let Black Siren go on for too long, guys. It's okay.
Just to recap who we've got left, we've got the 3 main leads and Caitlin left. Matt, who do you have for number 4?
I have Caitlin Snow.
Nico, who do you have for 4?
I'm sticking with Oliver Queen.
Caleb, who do you have for 4?
I'm also going with Oliver Queen.
Zedius, who do you have for number 4?
And now the battle may begin. I put Caitlin. So it's on you, Malcolm.
Well, I actually had Supergirl, but
So,
but that
Malcolm, it's up to you now. Caitlin or Oliver Queen.
Arrow or Killer Frost? Where you go?
Do not fail this chat, Malcolm. Do not fail the broadcast.
I mean, I like Oliver, but I like Caitlin more. So Oliver is at number 4.
Oh my
Guys,
gosh, we're doing it, boys.
The person who I was gonna have at my number 1 is now at number 4. Okay. Okay. Well, he's my number 2 behind Jay Garrick. So
I can't wait till Kane's message comes in where he's just livid that Green Arrow is number 4 on the Arrowverse character list.
Yeah.
Well, we now officially blame Malcolm for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, for number 3, I've got Supergirl. Zedius, who do you have for number 3?
I still have Caitlin, but I kind of change it. But no, I'll keep with Caitlin for now.
Caleb, who do you have for number 3?
I'm sorry. All I see are 18 messages on my phone of Kate going, "Oh!" I said Supergirl.
Yeah,
Nico, who do you have for number 3?
Barry Allen.
You are so wrong, sir. Leave this.
Matt, who do you have for number 3?
Caitlin Snow.
So that's
Alright,
2
Nico.
votes Caitlin, 2
Killer
votes
Frost or
Supergirl.
Supergirl?
Wait, can I change my vote?
Yeah, sure. I don't care. I mean, it's up to Malcolm.
What? Caleb, it's not your show.
I mean, to Malcolm.
I mean, if you
I
want
said
to
that's
change
right.
your vote, you can. But I mean, Nico might have that same one anyway, so he's a tiebreaker.
I want to see what he changes his vote to.
And
Okay,
Nico's
what do you
just
guys-
like, oh my gosh, Nico's just like, try me.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is the first time this has ever been done on Rankum or not. But I was just teeter-tottering there for a moment, and when you said Supergirl, I'm like, shit, I forgot she was on this list too. So I would definitely say Supergirl goes to number 3.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Caitlin more than I like Supergirl. Sorry, Melissa.
Would you have said Supergirl, Nico?
Yeah. I was hoping for the girls to be at numbers 1 and 2, but
Anyway, now we're voting on our number 1.
On number 1? Oh, okay.
Matt, who do you have at number 1?
Barry Allen.
Nico, who do you have at number 1?
I'm dead serious. Caitlin Snow is my number 1.
Caleb, who do you have at number 1?
Barry Allen.
Zedius, who do you have at number 1?
When you're talking about this, don't forget to please hashtag bring Bebo back. Number 1's Barry Allen.
And I had Flash Gordon, but no,
Nice.
I had the
reference.
Flash. Hashtag fuck Terranova.
Amen.
And Kane is mad at me now, too.
Which makes Caitlin Snow number 2.
I got my number
And-
1 to be number 1. So
Could not be mad at it.
And that is the end of our list. At number 12 of our top 12 Arrowverse characters, we've got Martin Stein. At number 11, we've got Black Siren. At 10, we've got Reverse Flash. At number 9, we've got The Atom. At number 8, we've got Deathstroke. At 7, we've got Zoom. At 6, we have got Cisco Ramon. At 5, we've got Leonard Snart. At 4, we've got Oliver Queen. At 3, we've got Supergirl. At 2, we've got Caitlin Snow. And at number 1 on our Arrowverse characters, we've got The Flash, Barry Allen. All in all, it did turn out to be a great list. I mean, not everyone agrees with it, but who agrees with all of our lists anyway? But I mean, and as always, in a bit, I'll put up the poll for the next one to vote for next week. And also in the month of December, we'll have a whole slew of Christmas themed episodes. So there will be a poll probably going up in a couple of weeks. I haven't decided when I'll do that yet to decide which order. But yeah, anyway, Matt, where can people find you online?
You guys, as always, can find me at Kearns_Matthew on Twitter, MattMovie611 on YouTube, and right here as co-host of Rhyme and Reason with Sandy Robinson. New episode just dropped, part 2 of our Star Trek discussion. Me and Sandy talked about our top 10 Star Trek movies. This upcoming Saturday, part 1 of our Star Wars discussion drops, and then the following week, part 2 drops. And you can also find me. I'm also the host of Second Look. Episodes are returning in December.
And Nico, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Nico Suave Regoli. That's NicoSuaveRegoli. You can find me every week hosting the Week of Wrestling podcast with Hunter the Hitman Chambliss, and you can find me on Film Nerd TV competing in the newly formed Combat Zone Wrestling Trivia. Sandy Robinson and I just shot a match today, and hopefully if editing goes well, you will see it on Wednesday night. And of course, you can find me over at Multiplex Entertainment. That's the name of the Facebook group, and the YouTube channel. The Twitter is at MultiplexYT. The Instagram is Multiplex Entertainment Network. The TeePublic is just Multiplex. Zaddy Smith just had 2 new shirts come out, and we've got plenty more shirts coming out in the future. We can now design stuff on the back. Isn't that cool? And in terms of the schedule, Monday is Movie Warzone. Tuesday is TV Throwdown, Singles and Fandom. Wednesday is Sports Battlefield. Thursday is myself and Zaddy Smith's Arrowverse discussion show titled Crisis on Earthplex. Stay tuned for episode 3 this coming Thursday. Friday is Fandom Fight, Singles and Teams. We're getting that much closer to finding out who's going to challenge Robert Parker at the end of the year for his Fandom Fight Championship, and we're close to finding out who's going to be the inaugural team champions. Saturday is Nerdgasm, but that's currently on a hiatus until maybe 2019. Ask Caleb. He can tell you more about that. And on Sundays, we wrap it all up in a nice little bow with the show that aired right before this discussion started, Around the League with Nico. That's me. I'm Nico. So, yeah, and I'm going to watch Supergirl as soon as we go off the air.
That's right.
One of these days, Hangouts will introduce a button which plays the Academy theme music to play people off when they're doing plugs.
Malcolm, you know you can mute people, actually. So you can just roll over.
Well, I mean, Academy Awards music is more entertaining. Caleb,
Sure.
it's your turn to do plugs.
See, Nico kind of covered all the multiplex stuff, so I'm just going to do personal stuff. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Caleb Coho. That's KALEBKOHO. You can find me on YouTube, Caleb Coho, where I do music, Coho Productions, where I do film, and on both channels right now. My movie Chick Part 2 is out right now, where you can watch it for free. What's not free is my album Shoot for Teams with my group The Forks, which you can find on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, wherever you consume your digital music. And you can find me over on Multiplex Entertainment, hosting Fandom Fight singles and teams every Friday. And I have a show with Jake Mangoni that will be coming out on Thursdays starting sometime in December. And you can find me now on Movie Warzone. So, hey. But yeah. So go over to Multiplex Entertainment. You'll see me there mostly.
And Zedius, where can people find you online?
You can find me online on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at Zadius Smith. That's ZA2Ds Smith. You can find me doing trivia on Multiplex, or anywhere on online trivia. You can also find this pretty face every Thursday night now on Crisis on Earthplex, talking about you know what it's about. It's about Arrowverse stuff, and we just do recaps about the Arrowverse and basically give our opinions on what we thought about the show and give theories onto what's coming up next. So definitely check it out if you're an Arrowverse fan. We also love to have you on as a possibility. But you can also find me on the Stardust app doing movie and TV reviews, and at Retribution Z on that app. And also, whenever you're commenting on this video, when you're watching it like back, or if you were watching it live, and if you like what you saw tonight, or you have your opinions, please, I would love to see your list. But on your list, once you give us your list, please do not forget to hashtag bring Bebo back, and also just for the Z-Man himself, fuck Terra Nova, please. Thank you.
It always makes me happy
jokes.
when he does that.
I hope to be a part of one of them one day.
And I'd like to point out, Kane said in the chat, Nico may not be the host of Crisis on Earthplex anymore.
I saw that.
Oh, come on.
But anyway, you can find me on Tape 3 Productions, where I host Rankum every week. And yeah, you can find me competing in trivia on Multiplex and Full Metal. And you can find me on Letterboxd, Stardust, and Instagram at Melkor. And until next time, join us when we rank them.